we were trying to make this film the whole time as a reflection anyway, reflexive, of trying to reflect an audience upon themselves. Not to be a film that stood above an audience and talked down to them, but a film that sat with an audience.
That's what I love. I love embracing mistakes. I tell all my actors when they work with me, I tell them the two biggest gifts they can give me is to, one, surprise me, and two, to fail. I feel like if I'm surprised on set, that the audience will also feel that surprise, and it'll feel alive for them, and that's what I want. I want my films to feel like they're alive. This is what we're ultimately trying to do with the films we're making, is find a place where acting stops and where behavior begins. And this was a perfect example of that with Ryan. Instead of boiling with rage, he was trembling. And this kind of well of mortification, of humiliation started building up inside of him, that he was ashamed.
I love to see it when people have no control over themselves anymore. Harmony Korine did it so beautifully in Julian Donkey Boy, when Werner Herzog is spraying his son down in the alleyway with a hose, and it's midwinter, and he says, "Don't shiver, a winter doesn't shiver." And the poor actor who's playing his son is cold, and he's shivering. And it was one of the first times when I saw that movie where I saw a person on screen actually being cold, not acting like they were cold, but being cold.
I wanted to have a film be about, legacy and kind of ancestry. I thought about trees. I thought about when you cut a tree down, you see the rings of a tree, and there's all those concentric circles, This movie's about consequence. And I wanted the violence to not be about the fetishizing of violence or about how viscous I can make it. I wanted to make a narrative violent scene, a violent moment where the violence actually had a consequence, where it actually had an effect. That's the thing, I never met a pure hero in my life. I never met a pure villain in my life. I don't know the black and white world. My world is more gray. I'm always interested in characters that are beautiful and ugly. They're ugly and beautiful. To me, that's humanity. It's in the gray area. I don't know good, I don't know evil. I know things in between.
I can't really sing. I have to sing goofy in order to sing. Like I have to sing stupid.
That's been one of my transformations as a filmmaker, was to not be saddled with my own expectations anymore of how things should be. Because I feel like if I can be surprised as a filmmaker, if I can have a revelation, the audience can also be having that.